Hi there, it's Roberta Heel. Today's the launch of a video series. Now, if you're a nurse or a nurse practitioner, chances are that you are thinking about transitioning to a slightly different role from clinical practice, or you've already done so. So this may be a series for you because it's going to highlight interviews with people who've done just that. So the first one is me. I transitioned from full-time clinical practice to teaching, and I'm going to give you some tips about what I think might be helpful if you're interested in doing just that. So if you're interested in hearing more in this series, then click subscribe. And if you'd like to complete a survey, which is free, about your readiness for career change, then click on the QR code here. And finally, if you're interested in learning more and reading the transcripts for this and other things that are going on at Nurse Practitioner Global Initiatives, then please click this other QR code. All right, let's get to it.
One of the most common work transitions for nurses and nurse practitioners is from clinical practice to teaching. You may find yourself, like I did, working full-time clinically while teaching part-time and wanting to flip the two. There are some strategies you can implement that may increase your chances for transitioning to teaching. It can be helpful to start by targeting the organization or program where you'd like to teach. What are the criteria for this organization? Start by checking with the organization and try to connect with people who work there to find out what criteria are required for teaching and what teaching opportunities are available. There are other ways to find out information about teaching at an organization. Most teaching organizations have faculty associations and collective agreements. These collective agreements determine how people are hired and may include clauses that give things like who have taught before first dibs on courses. They also typically include how much someone is paid to teach a course and how many courses or credits one is able to teach during a semester. Collective agreements include many other important items, so you should definitely find the collective agreement of the school where you've applied or where you teach and review it in detail. Also, find out who the association executive members are and who to contact if you have questions. Many times you aren't hired directly into a full-time position. Rather, you teach one course at a time. This work has a different name depending on the school: special instructor, lecturer, etc. These teaching positions are often posted on the website of the school, university, or college. Make sure you're aware of where these jobs are posted and check frequently. Should also think about contacting the school directly. The coordinator, director, or dean can direct you to where positions are available and how to apply. If you're looking for opportunities to teach, there may be competition for courses, and you may need to set yourself apart from others. An important consideration is completing a graduate degree. A master's is typically the baseline for those teaching in positions at colleges and universities. Many require a doctorate, for example, a doctorate of nursing practice or PhD. It can be very challenging to obtain graduate degrees while practicing, but many people can't afford to leave work to study. Thankfully, there are many schools that offer graduate degrees with flexible course delivery options. It's been my experience that the focus of the graduate education doesn't always matter. For example, a doctoral degree outside of nursing may be acceptable. However, it's important to check with the school you wish to work at to see what their expectations are. Education programs often have a focus on the academic pursuits of their instructors. Other academic pursuits that can contribute to your application for teaching are to publish an article. And when you're thinking of this, don't forget about the Nurse Practitioner Open Journal. There's a free webinar outlining the basic steps for submitting an article for publication on my website. I also have offered a course and will do so again about how to write an article for publication. Another example of academic work is to present at a conference. Next is participate in research. Seek out people conducting research and see if you can help them. Finally, joining professional and educational associations related to education may open doors for you. Getting involved in an association not only demonstrates your motivation to be involved in your profession, but there may be opportunities within the association to gain experience in academic or teaching pursuits that you can highlight on your CV. Teaching isn't easy. We're taught to work clinically, to teach clients and patients about health issues, but not how to teach in a formal education setting. Seeking out seminars, webinars, education programs, or certificates is a great way to gain knowledge about teaching and learning while you're working clinically and planning your transition to a teaching position. For example, search out certificates for preceptors, take a course about the principles of teaching online, or attend a conference or workshop about adult education. One of the most obvious places to start is to gain teaching experience. Becoming a preceptor within your current clinical workplace is an example. Nowadays, education settings are scrambling to find people who are willing to be preceptors for students, either in groups or one-on-one. If you haven't been contacted by a local school, then you may want to make some inquiries and find out if there are any precepting opportunities. If you're new to a preceptor role, then it's always helpful to do a bit of homework first. In my experience, the education facility knows who is a good preceptor, and preceptor experience may help you to build your reputation within the education program, as well as honing your skills in teaching. Once you have a teaching role, you want to make a good impression, so you'll be considered for additional or full-time work. Some organizations are notoriously poor at ensuring their employees, even sessional instructors, are fully orientated. Here are a few things to check up on before starting. Did the organization take the information required to pay you, and what is a payment schedule? I know your goal may be to teach, but you still want to be paid, so be sure to check in on this. Schools use learning management systems or software programs that house course syllabi and more. You may have to load a course syllabus yourself and manage the student discussions and emails, for example, on the LMS. It'll be important to have information about the learning management system prior to the starting date, along with information about your responsibility, who to contact if problems arise. You are typically given an email address for the school and should use it for all school-related communications. If you teach a class on campus, you'll need to find it, have a key to ensure that it's unlocked, know how to use the equipment in the room, and more. Find out where the policies are for things like safety, harassment, plagiarism, and other student infractions and student appeals. Find out the deadlines for submitting final marks and how to do so. There's much more, but this is a starting point. If your ultimate goal is to teach full-time, then these are good steps toward this goal. During this entire process, keep an eye out for permanent positions and be ready to apply for them when they come up.